Good afternoon. How are you? Well, sorry we weren't available yesterday, but we got tied up celebrating our 21st anniversary, and it was dark by the time we got back. And then, so it was a lost day, and it was enjoyable. And thank you, all of you who wished us well. As we all know, it takes a lot to find the right person and a lot to make it work. And everybody has their joys and challenges, and we've had our share. And so we're just glad that we're together and we're moving forward. So that's what we did yesterday. So today, some of the same news carries on, most of it from what happened on Friday. Little, as far as I can tell, has happened today. In the category of a woman's right to be let alone, and the way that argument continues to go on with apparently little government comfort with the notion that a woman has a right to be let alone. In fact, they decried it when they overturned Roe v. Wade. And inherent to this right to be let alone is the notion of privacy, that there is about any individual a right of freedom. And it includes not just the ones that we're talking about in the press these days, you know, a woman's right with regard to childbirth or not having a child, or her health, or agreements she may make with her spouse or significant other, or conversations with the doctor. All of these are being invaded. But that's, again, like a lot of the things that are happening these days, that's one of those things that has a broader import, which is, it's not just about the wacko religious theory that if a sperm and an ovum connect, that's a life. It is the objective to control as much and as many as can be. And despite the fact that women got the right to vote in 1920, from before that date until this date, women have been treated differently. And this is just the most recent suppression of an individual woman's rights. So I was encouraged to see that Walgreens and CVS will be dispensing the abortion pill. And that fits, in my opinion, the right of a woman to decide what to do with her body if she finds herself in a place where she can't have a child. She doesn't want to have a child, and it's not right for her or for the child, or it could compromise her health, or she's been raped, and it goes on and on. There are a whole bunch of reasons. And to simplify this because of the dull people who just want it their way is not an answer to how we deal with a public question that affects those that may not subscribe to the religious view of these wrong-headed Christo-fascists. So that's that. The Willis case, the only thing I'd add to it is my consolation for those of you who listened to the hearing. I didn't listen to all of it. I heard part of it. It was quite repetitive. I've gone over before how lawyers should put together an argument to be effective, and these guys don't do it. I guess they think, and this may be an argument against TVs in a courtroom, that they want the millions of people who may be watching the show to see them on the air. Ridiculous, but there it is. And particularly when they perform so badly, it's like they don't know how to ask questions. And I've seen this in cases. There are lawyers who know the rules of evidence, and the rules are not just rules to be followed. They are rules that correspond with reliability in the evidence. Somebody said something. Okay, hearsay. Is it admissible? Well, is it the person we're accusing of a crime admitting to it? Okay, that's admissible. So there are a whole bunch of rules like that, but these guys didn't obey it. And the judge seems to know the law when he talks about it, but he's not managing these lawyers. He's not managing his courtroom. And the proof of it is that he's going to take 2 more weeks to decide this case. It's hard to believe he doesn't have a draft sitting on his desk, and he's been perfecting it. That's what I would think. Now, he's a former local prosecutor, a former AUSA. He's been well regarded. But when in law school, he was the head of the chapter for the Federalist. There we are. So, 2 more weeks. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Seems appropriate and ironic and slightly comedic, to my sense, that we'd say that because there is so much invasion of the state by the church that is making a big difference here. Let me stop for a second and tell you, I don't know if you can see it, but the skies around me are unbelievable right now. There's a dark cloud right above me, and strips of blue in variations. So it's quite a sight. And although we haven't invoked Jefferson, we're sometime between 48 degrees and 52 degrees. And it's a little windy, not too bad. So what else do we have going on? We have Hunter Biden went up the hill and testified. Didn't invoke the fifth to anything. And he had a tete-a-tete with Representative Gates, and he finally said to him, well, do you see a transaction between myself and my dad anywhere? And they couldn't say no. And then they kept going over and over, and Abby Lowell, whom I've known and who you've probably seen, who represents Hunter Biden, was trying to prevent them from going into his past admitted problem with alcohol and drugs. And at one point, Hunter Biden said, in this room, there have probably been people that have been involved with it. I can function, have, and so I take it those in this room who have that problem do as well. So, there's this kind of thing going on. It's a very sad state of affairs for anybody who thinks of themselves as a republic, a responsible public official who's in a position to help Ukraine, delays the way to help Ukraine at the risk of them losing the war caused by the invasion of Putin into Ukraine from Russia. And what does that say about American foreign policy? What does that say about trust us to help you if and when we can? And Schumer has been over there and audited, if you will, unofficially or officially, what the storehouse is of weapons and missiles and so forth to fight. And because they don't have a sufficient supply, they had to withdraw from the east, where a lot of people died and where they lost control of that section. In the terms of paranoia, we're now concerned about Chinese cars coming into the United States. We're very concerned that hidden inside their electronics are the means to spy on us. And then there's a Post editorial, I don't know if you get the Post or not, and I'm not recommending you get this article if you haven't already seen it. Jason Willick, he says, I don't think the president has immunity from everything, but I also don't think he should be prosecuted for it. He calls it lawfare, and instead of warfare. And I think he's a jerk. If somebody punched him in his mouth, would it be considered political if they had a difference in their partisan beliefs, or would it be a crime? If I overthrow a government or try to overthrow it, whether I'm Republican or Democratic, whether I succeed or not, I tried. I violated one of the most sacrosanct things one can do as an oath-taking member of the body that was the focus of attempts to overthrow it. So, that's about what I think is going on. So I hope and expect to be out tomorrow. And again, thanks for your kind words for our anniversary. Same out to you. Good health, be well, and confusion to our enemies. And here I stand in the center of a road nearby with fewer trees, but beautiful nonetheless. Bye-bye.